Well, storms threatening around the KCLY community. Nothing right now in anywhere in the area in the radar, but they are expecting something maybe to move in later tonight. So with that, the administrations both at Smoky Valley here in Clay Center and many across the state moved up their start times. KCLY rules allows only the earliest start time to be at 1 o'clock, so that's why that time frame was chosen. And the Clay Center Tiger baseball team and Lady Tigers here in softball will get a chance to work into the semifinals. The first games have been played, both over at Smoky Valley, where Rock Creek winning over the Chapman Irish in final there 11-4. Phil Casper joins us from Smoky Valley, actually from the campus of Bethany, and Smoky Valley's home field in the baseball regionals. Flip, Chapman got out to a quick start in that ball game and led 4-0, right?
Yeah, they did, Rock, and welcome to Bethany College. Rock Creek came out and really rolled the dice. They threw a pitcher that they don't normally throw at 17-0 and the number one seed. They rolled the dice with Chapman. They got down 4-0, and Rocky, they left that pitcher in after he was able to get out of that inning, and then they came back, storming back in 11 straight runs by Rock Creek, and not another one allowed by Rock Creek's pitcher. So they will advance to the championship. The winner of this, Clay Center Tigers and Smoky Valley Vikings. This should be a good one. This is two teams I think that match up pretty good.
And Clay Center, of course, trying to go back-to-back as a state qualifier, making it for the first time since the 90s last year, and had a great run at the state tournament. You know, they came up short, but they really put up a great fight against one of the top seeds in the state, and so trying to get back again this year would be in Emporia should they qualify for the state championships. The same for the Lady Tigers, as they know they will play an NCKL matchup. Smoky Valley, who was the 2 seed here, got knocked out by Chapman. 8-2 was the final. The Lady Irish have played well throughout the season. Their pitcher really held Smoky Valley in check, and the Vikings struggled in the field. They coughed some early runs up through errors, and Chapman took full advantage of it, threatened to end it early in the 5th, and eventually would win it 8-2 in a full 7-inning contest. And now Clay Center faces a team they just met a week ago Monday, if you'll remember, and they played here at home against Concordia on what was senior night at that time, and swept that pair. So the Lady Tigers will face an opponent they know well as they get set to work here. And for Clay Center, it's a matchup against Smoky Valley, a team they don't know well, Flip. In fact, I did the locker room show last week with Coach Bent, and I had Kate and Kelby on the show as well, and I asked Coach Ben, I said, what do you know about Smoky Valley? And he kind of paused and said, nothing. You ready? It's more about what they do, and I've heard him say that time and time again than what the other team is going to be doing.
Well, and as you know, and anybody that knows Coach Bent, he's an enjoyable guy to talk to, and I was able to catch up with him and assistant coach Greg Carlson, and a lot of fun. But the same thing, I asked him an identical question. I said, what do you know about Smoky Valley? And he said, nothing. I don't know anything about him. And
I don't care.
I don't care. This is what we're going to do, and laid it out for me, and really feels like his team is pretty healthy. Said they had a great day of practice yesterday. He said the week, not so much, but he said yesterday was great. He said, these guys know what is at stake here, and he said it really helped us getting there last year. We were a bundle of nerves, and he said they're really not this year. They're ready to go. They know they've got to get it done out here, and they'll just go out and play their game. They will throw Will Rosen out this first game, the freshman coming in his last outing, Rocky, against Concordia. Will was really good, and I look for good things from him. He's very calm, very collected, and should throw well for the Tigers.
You mentioned the comments of practicing well and being healthy. The first part of that, Coach Bent told me in that interview, and I will tell you this, nobody practices harder than this team. He says, I will guarantee you across the state of Kansas, he's really impressed by how they've worked all year long, and they are healthy. Those are all great keys. We've shipped over now to the Lady Tiger softball program. We know they put the hard work in. We've seen that 2 years under Coach Don Richter, and now Nicole Edwards, of course, her assistant for the last few years. What we do have, though, is a team that is not real healthy. Their star leadoff hitter at the plate, Sam Carson, is out with the shoulder injury. She banged it up again in that matchup with Concordia, and it's going to be unable to play for the season. She's actually sling in the pregame here, just helping her teammates into the dugout. But she's a big loss. Defensively, she was very, very good. They're okay defensively. Janae Shivers will fill in fine out in center field, but offensively, Janae was in the starting lineup already, but in the lower part of the lineup. Now she is that leadoff hitter, and Sam's such a big cog of what this team does, and it's unfortunate she'll be unable to play in the postseason.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. On the Tigers side, baseball side, it's Cade Wallace. You know, we watched Cade battle that shoulder injury this year and has not been able to bat. He will not be batting again today, but we don't lose him in the infield. He will be going as shortstop. Other than that, on Tiger baseball, everybody healthy and everybody ready to go.
The McGee Roofing pregame show here on KCLY. Lady Tigers going through their infield warm-ups, and I know Tiger baseball about in the same spot as both these teams in between after the first semifinal game. Again, Rock Creek winning in baseball over Chapman. Chapman Lady Irish in softball winning over Smoky Valley. So Tiger baseball, should they win, would get undefeated number 1 seed Rock Creek in a championship game. The Lady Tigers, should they win this opener, would get Chapman in the championship in the second game of the day to move on to the state tournament. Both teams trying to get to Emporia. Let's take another time out. We'll come back and get you some starting lineups. We'll take a look at the matchups and bring you back after this.
Replacing a roof is a substantial undertaking. It's one of the biggest financial commitments a homeowner will make. But the long-term value of a solid, attractive, and leak-free roof is well worth it. McGee Roofing offers residential and commercial roofing replacement, along with guttering and siding. With the colors and textures available in siding, you can customize the look of your home or business. For roof replacement or repair, gutters and siding, McGee Roofing is committed to customer satisfaction. Call them for an estimate.
When you've been diagnosed with sleep apnea, your first therapy option is typically some form of positive airway pressure medical device. Whether it's a CPAP or BiPAP unit, you'll find them at Patterson Health Mart Pharmacy. A full-time respiratory therapist is also available for questions or to help with your needs. They offer a complete line of durable medical equipment to assist and aid in your well-being. Most insurance carriers will be billed for you. Just bring in your prescription to Patterson Health Mart Pharmacy and Radio Shack.
Spring is here and the weeds are taking the field. They're throwing everything they've got your way. Weed after weed. Lucky for you, you can depend on your cleanup hitter at Wilbur Ellis Reed Seed and Feed. We have multiple options for weed control in your spring crops, and our powerful hits will knock those weeds right out of the field and clean up those bases. Hit your home run with the help of your teammates at Wilbur Ellis Reed Seed and Feed and win the game against weeds.
The gang here at Bud's Tire Service want to wish the best of luck to the Tiger baseball and softball teams in postseason play. They, like us, strive to be the best they can be. We can help with everything from tires to your driveline to your engine to help keep it performing great. We have many tire brands that have rebates going on right now. Stop in and check them out. AC not keeping you cool? We can fix that also. Make sure and give our Facebook page a like. Never know what might be going on there. Stop by Bud's Tire for all your vehicle needs. Again, good luck to the Tiger baseball and softball teams.
Welcome back once again as we bring you Tiger baseball, softball coverage here on a dual cast from Smoky Valley, where the Vikings are hosting. That's who the Tigers face in the semifinals. The Lady Tigers hosting themselves here at home, the regional championships, and they have the Concordia Panthers. As mentioned, the Lady Tigers going through their opening warm-ups with Coach Don Richter hitting the infield and outfield right now. Cliff, where are you at Smoky Valley?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Rock. When we were at break, I thought we were getting ready to go, and Smoky Valley took their warm-up, they huddled, and now they broke and are taking it again. So it's like they've started all over. We've got one pitcher warming up out in left field for the Tigers. Wyatt Alexander taking some warm-up. The catcher looks like he's wrapping things up, and I'd say we're still a couple of minutes out here from getting things started.
And probably in about the same boat here. I can give you the lineups for what the Lady Tigers will face and for Clay Center, and then we'll get a look in from Cliff on Tiger baseball as well. For the Concordia Lady Panthers, it will be the center fielder, Tegan Larson, who leads it off, followed by Natalie Vines, the catcher. Hadley Tifo plays at shortstop. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters are Lakin Schrader at third base, Elena Hansen in right field, Allison Poore plays first base, and then the bottom 3 of the lineup, the left fielder, Kelsey Kern, the designated player is Rochelle Anderson, and Cora Snavely, the second baseman, while Martin will be the flex player and will be pitching in this first game for the Concordia Lady Panthers. For the Lady Tigers, it looks like this. It will be Janae Shivers, as mentioned, leading off the center fielder, followed by the catcher, Allie Wright-Frederick, Megan Blake, the pitcher, Then it's Haley Franson, Taylor Mall, and Gabby Nelms. Franson at short, Mall at first base, Nelms in right field. Anna Ferguson plays third and bat 7. Erin Hamill will play at second and bat 8. And Michaela Musselman in left field will be playing in the or batting in the number 9 position. The Lady Tigers again: Shivers, Wright, Frederick, and Blake. Then Franson, Mall, and Nelms, Ferguson, Hamill, and Musselman. Let's take one more timeout. We'll get the starters from the Tiger baseball matchup from Phil Casper next.
Whether you farm 100 acres or 10,000, the people of Central Valley Ag Monroe are here to serve you. Like customer service specialist Brett Schicker.
Support bigger growers and smaller growers at the same time.
Every input when you need it. And people like cropping specialist Jason Cook.
We have that personal touch with the farmer. They know that we have their best interest at heart.
Manager Doug Eisenminger says our most important product is teamwork.
It's not what I can do, it's what we can do together.
Central Valley Ag Monroe. Proud to say we are CVA.
Agriculture. Our country was built on it. Our children are fed by it. No one quite understands the unique needs of the farmer like United Bank and Trust. Whether you raise crops or livestock, you need the right equipment at the right time. Our ag loans can help you acquire and maintain that equipment when and where you need it. Contact one of our experienced ag lenders today. United Bank and Trust. Banking for your way of life. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
And back once again, we bring you to Tiger softball, baseball, going through their warm-up, waiting for the first pitch. We'll send it over to Phil for the starting lineup.
All right, thanks, Rock. We are just about ready here. Clay Center will be the home team. Batting for Smoky Valley, Thomas at DH, Lustfield playing shortstop. Left fielder Abel Heitschmidt is catching. First baseman is B. Weldy. Forsberg in right field, or in center field, rather. Right field is Campbell. Foth at third base. Golden at second, and R. Weldy is the pitcher. For the Clay Center Tigers, it'll be Nate Leiby in right field. Dylan Swihart will be in that DH position. Brigham Glaves playing left field. It will be Wyatt Alexander behind the plate. Evan Rosenau at first base. Kelby Wishman playing second. Will Rosenau is pitching for the Tigers, the freshman. Also, Dylan Moon is playing third base. Colton Wyke in center field, and Cade Wallace at the shortstop. Again, Cade Wallace is injured, so Dylan Swihart will be in that DH position. Just about set to go, and Rocky should be a really interesting matchup now. Smoky Valley comes in the 3 seed. They are 5-14, but again, not a bad team. Clay Center on the other side at 8-6. But keep in mind, Rocky, Clay Center lost a lot of games this year. They haven't played near as many games as a lot of the other teams have.
Oh, and it's so frustrating. I go back to that interview from last week with Coach Bent, and I asked him about favorite things and least favorite things in high school baseball and this season, and the answer to several questions was weather. The weather is just really eating them up in the schedule, and a lot of people talked about games with Rock Creek and Wamego late, but you've got to save arms for this time of the season, and some people don't understand that sometimes.
Yeah, and that's a tough thing, and it is, and you have to make that decision, but it was the right decision, because if you start playing those games back to back to back to back, you're in trouble with your pitchers and rest and getting them the right amount of rest. So Clay Center is taking the field. They will be the home team. Let's take one more 30-second timeout. We'll bring you back for the start of baseball right after this.
As a family-owned independent business, our agronomists at CS Precision Ag understand what it takes to make your operation successful. From Vera soil mapping and variable rate prescriptions to pre-season crop planning and weekly crop scouting reports, our agronomists tailor-fit each package to fit your particular farm. We are accepting new customers for 2017 throughout north central Kansas and south central Nebraska. Contact us today at 785-630-0596 or visit us online at csprecisionag.com.
Again, back on the campus of Bethany College, Phil Casper. Rocky Downing is in Clay Center, awaiting Clay Center Lady Tigers softball. A little bit behind baseball, but we will be checking in with Rocky. Our studio engineer is Bernie Fansella for this coverage of regional baseball and softball. Clay Center Tigers on the field, getting their final warm-up in a really strong crosswind. This field is set up so it's basically an east-to-west field, so that strong wind coming in straight out of center field. So really caused some problems in that game one for Chapman. Rock Creek hits the ball well. They hit it long and they hit it high, and Chapman really battling that win. So we'll see what happens with that. Again, Will Rosenau on the mound for the Clay Center Tigers, threw really well just a week ago against Concordia. They'll put Will back on the mound for the Tigers. So infield for Clay Center be Evan Rosenau at first. At second base is Kelby Wishman. Kate Wallace is the shortstop. And Dylan Moon at third base. Will Rosenau on the mound. Wyatt Alexander is catching. In the outfield, right to left, Nate Leiby, Colden Weike, and Brigham Glaze. And we are set to go. Will Rosenau with it on the mound. He'll face Thomas, the DH, first up for Smoky Valley. Sun has gone behind the clouds here in Lindsborg, and that wind still just as strong. Rosenau sets to go. Fires home. First pitch in, strike one. Rosenau, really good command of his pitches. A very smart, heady player. Second pitch on the way. That's inside, ball one. So count goes 1-1. In game two, just underway. The winner of this advances. They would play in the championship against Rock Creek. 1-1 pitch from Rosenau, swung on. That's driven to the middle of the infield and gets through just out of the reach of Cade Wallace, in for a base hit. It was a slow roller, but Cade was a little further right and charged hard. Second baseman Kelby Wishman unable to get there as well. So one runner on. That'll bring up Lusfield, the shortstop. Pitch from Rosenau, strike one. Runner at first base, not much of a lead. 0-1 pitch on the way, swung on. That is driven into left field for a base hit. So two batters, and Rosenau's given up two base hits. That one hit just a little bit better than Thomas's. So runner on first and second, nobody out. Game just underway. That'll bring up center fielder Abel. Rosenau now will hold both runners on. Fires home, foul back. Wyatt Alexander will head out to the mound and make sure they're on the same page. Nobody out. Runner on first and second. Rosenau in the stretch. Fires home. Big curveball. Watched. Strike two. I'm out in left field and could see that break from out here. So 0-2 now to the batter. Rosenau looks the runner, fires in, swung on and missed, and now throw down to first and nearly got the runner at first base, but they will call him safe. So a nice play by Wyatt Alexander and a good strikeout for Will Rosenau, one out. So Heitschmidt, the catcher for the Vikings, now steps up on the other side of the plate. Pitch in, slow curveball, strike one. And Rosenau just not missing. He's throwing really well. First two batters for Smoky Valley able to jump on those. Neither runner with a big lead. Rosenau's kept him honest. 0-1 pitch goes low and in. So a 1-1 count. Neither runner in danger of going. 1-1 pitch on the way. Curveball misses out. So for the first time, Rosenau's behind in the count. Facing the catcher, Heitschmidt. Pitch in. This is high. Count goes 3-1. Rosenau looks back to second. Now he'll get into his stretch. Throw home. He's going to miss low, and he'll walk a batter. So Will Rosenau in a jam with one out. Bases loaded, and Weldy, the first baseman, steps in. Rosenau will go back to the windup. Called strike one. Oh, 1 pitch, curveball. Misses in the dirt. Nice play behind the plate by Alexander. Counts 1-1. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed, strike 2. So 1 out and a 1-2 count on the batter, and the center really needs to get this batter out. Rosenau gets the signal. 1-2 pitch on the way, and a called strike 3 as Will Rosenau just freezes Weldy, and that is out number 2, and that is big. So bases loaded, 2 down, and Will Rosenau will face Forsberg, the left fielder. There's a curveball fouled back. Strike 1. A 1 pitch from Rosenau. A called strike 2. So count goes 0-2. 2 down, bases loaded, and we'll see if Will Rosenau can get out of this. First inning. 0-2 pitch on the way. Curveball is swung on and missed, and that's a strikeout, and Will Rosenau works his way out of a huge jam early. 3 runners left on. Nobody scores. 3 strikeouts, and we are midway through the first. Clay Center coming up to bat. Let's check in with Rocky Downing.
Flip Concordia just wrapping up their warm-up, so great finish to the inning for Will Rosenau and the Tigers. Let's get a timeout. We'll take you back again to Flip Casper after this.
TSI Kansas and Clay Center is your diesel repair facility that can meet all your diesel truck repair needs. From brakes, oil services, clutch repairs, tires, and more, we can keep your equipment on the road. TSI Kansas has an extensive parts network and the experience you need to get the job done right and at a fair price. Call TSI Kansas at 785-632-5183 and ask about our current specials.
Buy 4 qualifying tires during the Mastercraft Spring Promotion now through May 31st, and you'll get tires to help master the road. Plus, receive up to a $60 Mastercraft Visa prepaid card by mail. Visit your local Farmers Cooperative Tire branch for complete rebate offer details. Master the road with Mastercraft Tires. Stop by the Farmers Cooperative today or online at fctires.com.
Investing in our own Farmers Cooperative.
Well, early trouble for the Clay Center Tigers, but Will Rosenau able to work his way out of it. 2 singles, a strikeout, and then a walk to load the bases, and then 2 straight strikeouts. So 3 runners left on for Smoky Valley, and nobody scores. So bottom of the first, due up for the Tigers, it'll be Nate Leiby, Dylan Swihart, and Brigham Glaves. Leiby in right field, leading things off. One of the leading hitters for Clay Center, but Tigers really struggled at the plate over the last couple of weeks. They'll try to change that today as Leiby steps in. Pitch on the way is going to be low, ball 1. Coach Andy Ben at third base, Greg Carlson at first. Pitch to Libby, a called strike one. Counts 1-1. Again, Lady Tiger softball not quite underway at the break. We'll check with them again after this inning. 1-1 pitch to Nate Libby in the dirt, ball 2. Talking to a Smoky Valley fan, said this is where Smoky Valley struggles, is on the mound. So see if Clay Center can take advantage of it. There's one fouled back, and really a good cut by Nate, but a little early, and the count goes 2-2. Libby back in, ready to go. Pitch to Libby is going to be a called. Strike 3 as Nate Libby just froze. Weldy, the pitcher for Smoky Valley, out of the stretch with nobody on, so don't see that too often. It's almost an abbreviated stretch. See what he does when we get a base runner. So Dylan Swihart will step in. He watches the first one go by, ball 1. Swihart in that DH position. See if Dylan can get things started. There's one swung on pretty hard and ripped right down to Coach Andy Bent. A nice play by Coach Bent, right back to the pitcher. Clay Center's both batters so far a little early swinging on this pitcher. He's not a fast pitcher. It's ball 2. And very deliberate in his delivery, so Clay Center will have to adjust a little bit. Counts 2-1 to Swihart. Pitch on the way, slow curve in the dirt, all 3. Pitch watched by Swihart, and he will head down to first base. So Dylan Swihart heads down to first base on a walk, and that's going to bring up Brigham Glaves. Glaves hitting the ball really well for the Tigers. One of the bright spots is they've been in a bit of slump the last couple of weeks, but Glaves has hit the ball well, a lefty. Called strike 1. Glaves out in left field for the Tigers today. Swihart, good lead by Dylan on first. We'll see what Weldy does. Same motion, pitch in outside. Counts 1-1. So Weldy doesn't change his stretch at all. Brings the ball to the glove right about the waistline. Now Swihart's going to go 2, throws down, and they are going to get Dylan Swihart stealing second base. So trying to get Swihart around, and I think Glaves let that go, and the hit and run was on. So Coach Bent quickly down, pitch to Glaves. That's going to be ripped out into left field. Shortstop makes the play, somehow backhands that, but no play at first. That's going to be an infield single for Brigham Glaves. So a 2-out single for Glaves, and that'll bring up Wyatt Alexander. So Dylan Swihart thrown out stealing. Glaves with a single, 2 outs, and Alexander steps in. Wyatt has some power. We'll see what he can do. Pitch to Wyatt is swung on and ripped foul. And again, just a little early. So 2 outs, 0-1. Pitch to Alexander. Watches one go by, strike 2. Glaves with a break to second, but didn't go. Now he'll get a good lead on first base. 0-2 pitch to Alexander's fouled back. Weldy, not a lot of speed. And his curveball breaks, and it is really slow. Those are harder to hit than pitchers with a lot of speed. 0-2 pitch. That's drilled foul. Again by Alexander, but first baseman is going to have a play on that. And that is going to be out, number 3. So Clay Center threatens, no score. 1 inning in the books, 0-0 at Bethany College, Clay Center, Smoky Valley. Let's send you to Rocky Downey.
All right, Flip, thanks. Megan Blake pitching for the Lady Tigers in the circle and fell behind 3-0 to the leadoff batter for the leadoff batter for Concordia, Tegan Larson, but now has battled back to put the count full at 3-2. A couple of foul balls after a called strike. Right-handed batting Larson up there against Blake. First batter of this top of the first. This regional championship game, ground ball toward the shortstop. Franson unable to come up with a clean lead, and there'll be a runner on at first. Slow rolling grounder. Megan Blake almost got to it. Haley Franson had to charge hard. If she had come up with it cleanly, not sure they would have gotten Larson at first base with good speed, their center fielder. So infield single with the bobble by Haley Franson, making sure that Larson knew then for sure she would not be thrown out. And that brings up Natalie Vines. We'll keep it here for a moment as they're in between the first and second innings over at Smoky Valley. Here's the rock and the pitch from Blake. Concordia, bunt attempt pulled back. The throw to second. The runner is in safely. So a single, a stolen base. Throw from Wright Frederick was a touch high, but standing at second already was Larson. Had a big jump after Vines had squared around the bunt and then pulled the bat back. So it's an 0-1 count. A runner at second, nobody down, top half of the first. Blake's pitch on the way home is just low. Umpire looked like maybe he was going to throw a fist out there, but kept it in the holster, and the count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike. Top of the first, runner at second, nobody out. Lady Tigers, Concordia matched up in the semifinal. The winner will get Chapman for a trip to Emporia later on today. Blake set to work on her way home. Swing and a miss. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes as Larson gets a big lead off of second. Right, Frederick down the third baseline to see her go back to the bag. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outfield for the Lady Tigers. Michaela Musselman in left, Janae Shivers in right field, or in center field. Gabby Nelms over in right. There's a swing and a miss in the first strikeout of the game for Megan Blake. So gets K against Vines with a runner at second. Now 1 down, and the batter will be Hadley Tifo, the shortstop for Concordia. They're 0-0 at the end of 1, probably about ready for the top of the second. Let's send it back over to Phil Casper.
Thanks, Rock. We are in the top of the second. 3-0 pitch, or 3-1 pitch, rather, from Rosenau facing Campbell in for strike 2. So count goes full after 3 straight balls. Now 2 straight strikes from Will Rosenau. Full count pitch on the way. That's ripped at third base, and Dylan Moon can't handle it. He's going to throw to first, and boy, he made it a close play as that was ripped right at Dylan Moon and just bobbled it for a split second, but nearly got the runner out. So good effort by Moon, but that's going to put Campbell on first base, and that'll be scored in E5. So runner on first, nobody out. Fourth base runner now for Smoky Valley, showing fun at the plate. Now pulling back, steals on, throw to second, and they're going to get the runner, Campbell, trying to steal second. What a throw from Alexander down to Cade Wallace, and Clay Center gets that runner out. So the error on the third baseman, nobody hurt as that runner steals, and Foth showed bunt, but a good play by Wallace and Alexander. One pitch, or rather 0-1 pitch, fouled back, so count goes 0-2 now to Foth, the third baseman. Pitch from Rosenau, that's up high as Rosenau throwing some heat, but lost it high, so count goes 1-2. 1-2 pitch on the way. Curveball swung on and missed, and a big curve following that heater from Will Rosenau, and that is 2 down, and that is Will Rosenau's 4th strikeout in this game. 8 batters he's faced and struck out 4. So 2 down. That'll bring up the second baseman for Smoky Valley. That's going to be driven into center field for a base hit. First pitch swung on and hit pretty hard. Colton Wyke into Cade Wallace, and go right back to Rosenau and a base hit for Golden. So Smoky Valley is really threatened, but unable to take advantage, and thanks in large part to the pitching of Will Rosenau in the first inning and a half. Rosenau fires in, strike 1. Big leadoff from Golden on first, and we'll see what Rosenau does with him this time. 0-1, now he will fire over to first and run her back in safely. One pitch from Rosenau. Holds, and now he'll fire in. Curveball driven to third base. This time Dylan Moon, sure-handed, fires to first for out number 3. So Smoky Valley threatens again, but we're headed to the bottom of the second. Scoreless at Smoky Valley. Let's send you to Rocky Downing.
All right, Flip still in the top of the first here. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count with 2 down and 2 runners aboard. Concordia threatening in their half of the first, as did Smoky Valley. Megan Blake trying to work around it. She has struck out 2. A single by Tegan Larson led it off. A walk to Hadley Tifo. Strikeouts to Natalie Vines and Lakin Schrader. And now Elena Hansen is the batter, the right fielder for Concordia, with, again, 2 down. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. So Megan Blake trying to answer Will Rosenau's 3 strikeouts to get out of the jam here at Clay Center. Pitch on the way home, the 1-2 down to the dirt. And the count goes to 2 balls, 2 strikes. And obviously the wind, a big factor in everywhere in the state of Kansas, for that matter, today, and most days for spring. But it is really gusting straight in from center field today here at the Clay Center. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Runners at first and second for Concordia, top of the first. Megan Blake, the rock in the pitch, and just foul tipped by Larson, or by Hansen, I should say, to stay alive. Larson, the runner at second. At first base is Tifo, and then the 2 strikeouts, the 2 outs on the board from Megan Blake inside the circle. She'll gear up for the 2-2 once again. Anna Ferguson in at third base, Taylor Mull at first. Aaron Hamill is the second baseman, and Haley Franson at shortstop. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball right side. Will it stay fair? It does. And Taylor Mull, a good job, gets the short hop and a quick tag out of the runner. And the Lady Tigers undamaged to the first half of the inning. 2 runners on, but they strand those, and we're headed to bat here in Clay Center. Let's take you back over to Bethany College.
All right, Rocky, thanks. And Evan Rosenau, first batter for Clay Center, an infield single. And, again, just in about the same spot that Brigham Glaves hit it just a little while ago for the Tigers, in between third and short. Shortstop, great backhanded play, but no play at first base. So Evan Rosenau, infield single, brings up Kelby Wishman. So Clay Center will start off with a base runner. There's a bunt by Wishman, but that's going to go foul. Rosenau on his way to second. So Kelby Wishman back in. Will Rosenau on deck. Now toss over to first base, keeping Evan Rosenau honest. Slides back in safely. 0-1 count to Wishman. Pitch home, watched. That'll go low and away, ball 1. Evan Rosenau, pretty good lead. Wishman shows bunt, pulls back, strike 2. So count goes 1-2, nobody out, 1 runner on. We're in the bottom of the second, scoreless. A throw over is Evan Rosenau getting pretty pretty good lead that time, and Smoky Valley will make him get back. 1-2 pitch to Wishman. There's a high fly ball. That's going to be foul and out of play. One-two pitch, nobody out. Swung on. That's going to be fouled down the third base line. Just foul. The count will stay 1-2. All the Clay Center batters so far have been pretty early. 1-2 pitch. That's going to be driven at the shortstop. Backhanded play again. Play at first. Not in time. As the shortstop hesitated and wasn't really sure. Thought about going to second, but Evan Rosenau with a pretty good jump on the crack of the bat. And everybody's safe. So Rosenau gets to second. Wishman will get to first. And nobody out. 2 on, and Will Rosenau steps in. Rosenau shows bunt. Pitcher backs off as nobody holding the base runners on. Pretty sure that's a mistake. So now the entire infield comes in. Rosenau shows bunt, goes for it, fouls it. Strike one. So 0-1 count. Well, Rosenau a little upset with himself is missing what he thought was a pretty good opportunity. 0-1, he'll show bunt again, pulls back, ball one. So Will Rosenau, by doing this, has pulled the first baseman way in. And now he'll show bunt again and foul one back. And now the count will go 1-2. So first baseman was about halfway down that first base line. Now he'll back up with a 1-2 count. Pitch in, swung on. That is going to be driven right at the shortstop, backhanded again, and no play. So that's 3 times that ball has been hit to the shortstop's right for Smoky Valley, and he is unable to make a decision on where to go with that. So now Clay Center has loaded the bases. Pinch runner in for Will Rosenau. I believe that's Jake Ferguson. And that's going to bring up Dylan Moon. Moon drives one into right center field. Right fielder over, makes the play, and tagging at third, and now all runners hold as right fielder for Smoky Valley. A good job getting that ball in quickly. So Dylan Moon flies out for the first out, and runners had to hold as right fielder Campbell for Smoky Valley. A good play. That brings up Colton Wyke. Playing in center field, pitch in low, ball one. 1 out, bases loaded. Bottom of the second, scoreless. Pitch into Wyke, that's driven down the third baseline, foul. So now 1-1 count with 1 out. Pitch into Wyke, there's a high fly ball to right field in, and that is going to drop fair right field, and that is going to advance everybody. So everybody moving on that ball. That wind blowing in that area of the field held that ball up and kept it foul. So Clay Center with the first run of the game is Evan Rosenau going, and Colvin Weike with an RBI single. Well, that'll bring us back to the top of the order. Nate Leiby now gets a chance. Bases still loaded. Pitch into Leiby. Low. Ball one. And wind blowing in hard from right center, and Weike hit that in the air enough to hold it up. There's Leiby, fouls one back. Counts 1-1. Bases loaded, one out. Clay Center's gone up 1-0. Pitch to Leiby. Driven at the third baseman, can't make a play. That's going to go out into left field. That'll score one. So Clay Center now up 2-0. Nate Leiby with a single. Scores Kelby Wishman. And it's a 2-0 Tiger lead. So brings up Dylan Swihart, catcher for Smoky Valley, out. Have some words with his pitcher. Is one out, base is still loaded. Brings up Dylan Swihart. Swihart walked his last bat and then was thrown out trying to steal. Pitcher will hold the runners on. There's Swihart, drives one to the shortstop. They'll get the runner at second, try to turn two, and they get the double play. So Dylan Swihart, pretty hard shot right where the shortstop was, and that is going to close out the second inning. But Clay Center goes up 2-0, headed to the third. Let's take you back to Rocky Downing.
You bet, Flip. Thanks. Good inning for the Tigers, going up 2-0 after the second frame here. The Lady Tigers are threatening in the bottom half of one. They have runners at second and third, a leadoff hit batter in Janae Shivers, followed by a sacrifice bunt by Allie Wright-Frederick that really snuggled up in the right first baseline, and then they threw high to first. Here's a bunt from Franson. This is for a hit, and she is going to be there. They throw behind the runner at third, and he's out at third. They say Shivers didn't get in there. The official behind the play, really shielded by the third baseman applying the tag, and Shivers thought she was back in. Coach Richter thought she was back in. The third base umpire punched her out, and so runners at first and second. Franson is on with a single, so now runners at first and second with two down for the batter, Taylor Mall. Megan Blake had a great at-bat, hit the ball hard a few times, but all foul, and eventually popped up behind the plate to the catcher. So runners at first and second, two down. Ball up there trying to get the Lady Tigers on the board. Clay Center able to get through the first half of the inning. They allowed two runners on, and then two strikeouts from Megan Blake, and a really nice play by Ball, who's at the plate now at first to end the inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball, third base side, but foul. Goes into the batter's box where Gabby Nelms is warming up and waiting a chance to bat. If Ball can get aboard or maybe get something through and get a runner in. Right, Frederick down at second. See her applauding Taylor from second base to knock her in. There's a line shot of her pop foul in the middle, I should say, and the second baseman in underneath of it. And the Lady Tigers really waste an opportunity with runners at second and third. A throw behind the runner down at third base would be the second out, and then the pop out to close the inning. So we're headed to the second here, scoreless through one. Let's take you back over to Phil Casper with Clay Center Tiger Baseball leading 2-0.
All right, thanks, Rock. And here in the top of the third, first batter up left field, flies out to Brigham Glaze in left field. Route number one. Will Rosenau on the mound for Clay Center, throwing pretty good, misses high. Ball one. One-0 pitch, fouled back and out of play. Counts 1-1. Clay Center up 2-0 in this top of the third. Winner of this will advance. They would play Rock Creek for the right to go to state. Pitch from Rosenau on the way. That is a high fly ball. Wyatt Alexander may have a play on it, and that's going to be out of play. Dylan Moon and Will Rosenau in quickly, trying to help their catcher. Just got up in that wind and carried it back and out of play. So counts 1-2, 1 out, nobody on, top of 3. Play center up 2-0. The umpire realizes that Will Rosenau doesn't have a baseball, now corrects that. And now we're ready. 1-2 pitch. That's going to be a high fly ball. Again, that's going to go back out of play. Count stays 1-2. Rosenau sets, fires home high, ball 2. Pitch, driven. Cade Wallace going to his left, can't quite handle it, does get a glove on it and knock it down. It's hit towards the middle infield, so no play. And a base hit for Abel. Good play by Wallace just to get a glove on that and knock it down, but really no chance. So Heitschmidt, who was walked in the first inning, steps up with 1 on and 1 out. Pitch in from Rosenau, low and away, ball 1. Now move over to first. Oh, a good move by Rosenau, but Abel, not fooled, dives back in safely. Pitch in, strike 1, counts 1-1. Alexander will throw down to first, but runner back in safely. Abel with a pretty good lead, and see what they do with him with 1 out. Still a pretty good lead. Pitch in, there's a fly ball that's blooped into left field, but Glaze in and makes the play on it, gets the ball quickly back in, holds the runner, and there's 2 down. Brigham Glaze a pretty good play and pretty good job to get that ball back in. So now B. Weldy steps in. With 2 down, 1 on, ball low, ball 1. In top of 3, Clay Center leads 2-0. Pitch into Weldy. That's going to be driven to left field. Glaze is not going to be able to make a play on it, but does get it knocked down. Started to break in, but that was a pretty well-hit ball. Does get it back in quickly, but Weldy on with a base hit. Abel advances to second. And now 2 on, 2 out for Forsberg. Pitch to Forsberg. Slow curveball. Called strike 1. Rosenau sets, looks to second, now fires home, misses low, ball 1. Rosenau fires in, swung on, strike 2. At center holding both runners on. Now they let that runner first go. Rosenau, 1-2, fires in, swung on, strike 3, and that will end the top half of the third. Play center coming up, bottom of 3. They're up 2-0. Get you back to Rocky Downing.
Yeah, Flip headed to the bottom of 2 here. Megan Blake just struck out the side, her 5th strikeout of the game. Her third, fourth, and fifth Ks of the ball game. 2 swing and 1 look at. So we're headed to the bottom of second. No score here. Let's take a timeout. We'll get the Lady Tigers to the plate. And Tiger Baseball leading 2-0. We're back in just a moment.
Hi, this is Maribeth Connor. Holiday gift giving can cause a big strain on your wallet. The Citizens National Bank has a whole new way to jumpstart on budgeting for next Christmas or any other special occasion that is in your future. The Citizens National Bank introduces its Reloadable Card. You tell us how much you want to save, and we'll set up regular transfers from your checking account to the Reloadable Card. It's that simple. Learn more about the Reloadable Card at the Citizens National Bank, downtown Clay Center, member FDIC.
Replacing your roof is a major investment. You want it done right the first time with an excellent warranty for any work that might be needed later. The professionals at Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement have gone that extra mile with more in-depth training earning additional certification. Tyson Ramirez has Hague Residential Certification, and Tyler Hassenbank has both Hague Commercial and Residential Certification.
This is Dallas Hassenbank, and Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement has you covered with more than 37 years experience.
Back at Lindsborg, Brigham Glaive steps in, fouls one back and away. Crowd of Rock Creek fans didn't see that one coming. Nobody hurt. Counts 0-1. Pitch to Glaives, and a curveball did not curve. Misses ball 1. 1-1 pitch. Misses high, 2-1. Glaive singled his first time up. As it called strike 2. Counts 2-2. Bottom of 3, Clay Center up 2-0. Pitch on the way to Brigham Glaives. That's hit, slow roller down the first base line, and an easy play for the first baseman. Out number 1. That's going to bring up Wyatt Alexander. Wyatt flew out last time, battled at the plate, got down early, and then battled. Flew out foul behind first base. Pitch to Alexander. Low, ball 1. Strong breeze here. It's really clouded up in Lindsborg. 1-0 pitch inside, ball 2. Outside of a pretty strong wind, it's turned into a pretty nice afternoon. There's one ripped foul down the third base line by Alexander, and the count's 1-2. Pitch to Alexander. There's a high fly ball into right field that is drifting foul, and that'll go out of play. So 2-2 count now to Wyatt Alexander, 1 out. Pitch in, a called strike 3, and that is out number 2. That'll bring up Evan Rosenau, singled his last at bat. It's to Rosenau, curveball, strike 1. Pitch to Rosenau. Misses high, count goes 1-1. Fouled back. Good cut by Evan. Fouled back out of play. Count goes 1-2, 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of 3, Clay Center up 2-0. winner will face Rock Creek in the championship. They beat Chapman 11-4. Pitch is slow, curve misses high. Count goes 2-2. Pitch into Rosenau, 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed, and that is strike 3 to Evan Rosenau. So 3 complete, Clay Center up 2-0. Let's get you back to Clay Center Lady Tigers softball.
Well, Phil, a quick inning here. The Lady Tigers win in order. A strikeout, 2 pop-outs to the second baseman for the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. That's Gabby Nelms, Hannah Ferguson, and Aaron Hamill. Should say the 6, 7, 8 hitters. Michaela Musselman will lead it off in the third when they come to the plate. But right now back on the defensive side of the field for the Lady Tigers. Megan Blake, by the way, struck out the side the last time for Clay Center. She now has 5 Ks in the ball game. Scoreless through 2. The Lady Tigers back in the field to begin the top of the third here as offense yet to get going with the wind blaring in. A few balls up in the air, and it's been costly. The one running mistake on the base paths costly as well in the first. They threatened. But again, we're going to the third. Concordia coming to the plate, scoreless through 2.
All right, Rock here, top of the fourth, 2-0 Clay Center lead. Let's get a timeout. We'll bring you back for the fourth inning after this.
Are you in the market for a new house? Do you need a more reliable set of wheels to get you around town? Or do you just need some extra cash for an unexpected bill? Whatever the case may be, Union State Bank is here to help. We have competitive rates on a variety of different loan options suited to meet your needs. Don't hesitate. Call or stop in and visit with one of our loan officers that you know and can trust today. This is Brandy Crimmins with Union State Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Top of the fourth in Lindsborg. Up for Smoky Valley is Campbell. Rosenau fires in, swung on, strike 1. Clay Center up 2-0. In the top of the fourth, there's 0-1 pitch in low. Count goes 1-1. Rosenau's pitched pretty well. That is hit hard right back at him and by him out into center field for a base hit. Rosenau's throwing pretty well. He's been in the jam a couple of times, able to work his way out of it, and Smoky Valley will start off with a leadoff single. Smoky Valley has stranded 6 runners so far in this game. Now they have 1 runner on, nobody out. Pitch in low, ball 1. Rosenau looks to first, now fires home. There's a throw down to first base as Rosenau sees a called strike 1. Thought they had let that go. Looked pretty good, but a called strike 1. And the count's 1-1. 1 pitch on the way. That's dribbled off the bat. Only plays at first. Wyatt Alexander down to first. Makes the play. The runner does advance to second. But Alexander with a good play down to first base for the first out. So a swinging bunt from Smoky Valley does advance the runner. 1 out. Brings up Golden, the second baseman. Throw home from Rosenau. There's a fly ball left field. Over is Glaive. Makes the play. Runner's going to hold at second, and that is out number 2. Smoky Valley will go back to the top of the order with 2 down. Rosenau gave up that leadoff single, but now with 2 outs, runner on second. See if he can get out of another one. There's a watched curveball in for strike 1. Rosenau stretch, looks at the runner, fires home, curveball, same place. Strike 2. So Will Rosenau worked himself out of a couple of jams, and now we may see him do it again with an 0-2 count on the leadoff hitter. Pitch in, and he's going to hit the batter right around the ankles. I think he was going back to that curveball again and just lost it. So now runners on first and second. That'll bring up the shortstop for Smoky Valley. He's singled and flown out and hit the ball pretty well. 2 down. Pitch in. Strike 1. One pitch, check swing, strike 2. That's a called strike. He may have went, but it was a called strike anyway. So now Rosenau right back up in the count, 0-2. Runner on first and second, 2 down. 0-2 pitch on the way in the dirt. And count goes 2-1. And good job by Alexander behind the plate to hold those runners. 1-2 pitch, low. Count goes 2-2. Rosenau fires home, and a called strike 3 is just froze Lustfield with that curveball, and Will Rosenau works himself out of a jam again. Midway through the fourth, 2-0, Clay Center with the lead. Coming up to bat for the Tigers as Kelby Wishman must check in with Rocky Downing.
Bill, a 3-up-3-down inning on the defensive side for Clay Center. 2 strikeouts for Megan Blake. That's now 7 in the game. And then a really starred play out in center field as Janae Shivers had to drift back. Megan Larson packed one to center field against that thick wind. The line drive chased Janae Shivers back, and over-the-shoulder catch secured the second out of the inning. And the Lady Tigers able to get a 3-up-3-down inning to head into the bottom of 3. Still scoreless here. Let's take a timeout. We'll see if we can get an at-bat for the Lady Tigers before sending it back over to Phil when we come back.
At Oldie Seed, our Know to Grow research program gives you first-hand knowledge of the performance characteristics of each hybrid and variety we offer. We use that knowledge to help you select from the latest traits that include Extend, Enlist, Liberty Link, and Roundup Ready 2. When it comes to selecting your hybrids and varieties this season, count on your Oldie Seed representative. They have the latest trait technologies backed by a solid research program. At Oldie Seed, we have your back.
So the Lady Tigers go into the bottom of 3, still scoreless right now. They did threaten in the first inning. They had 2 runners aboard second and third base and were unable to get a score in on that. They had a pop out and then a double off of third. Caleb Musselman stands in and one up high and inside from Carly Martin, the pitcher for Concordia. So the Lady Tigers trying to get something going offensively. They stranded those a runner in the first inning, kind of wasted an opportunity with runners at second and third in great position, and then eventually would end up with 2 runners on and stranded and no scores in. So scoreless through 2.5, and now the Lady Tigers at the plate leading it off Michaela Musselman, her first at-bat of the game. There's a good cut, fouled straight back against the netting. The count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. So it's Musselman to the top of the order as Janae Shivers will be up. She reached after being hit by a pitcher first time in. And then Allie Wright-Frederick, if anyone reaches Megan Blake. Here's the 1-2 from Martin to Musselman, line right back up the box, and that is going to be a base knock for Michaela Musselman, the senior. Lines one back up the box, and the Lady Tigers have a leadoff runner aboard, Janae Shivers, coming to the plate. I know Kelby Wishman was leading it off for the Tiger baseball team. They have a 2-0 lead, and we'll get you back over to Flip here in a moment. Let's see if we can get the Lady Tigers something working offensively, as scoreless as mentioned here in the bottom of 3. Bunt by Shivers, a good one. This will be a tough play at first. She's got great wheels, and she's safe. And now Musselman will fire over to third. Shivers, a big turn at first base, will hang on there. And the Lady Tigers have something cooking here with runners at first and third, and Allie Wright-Frederick coming to the plate. So Musselman The line drive single up the middle, the sacrifice bunt by Shivers turns into an infield single. May have been bobbled at first, but the umpire was calling safe very quickly on that. So Shivers, with the great speed from the right side of the plate, still able to get down to first. And Wright Frederick stands in with 2 runners on at first and third and nobody out. The bottom of 3. She squares to bunt it. That's just to protect the runner Shivers, who slides in with no throw down at second. And the Lady Tigers again have runners in position with nobody down, an 0-1 count on Wright Frederick. Pitch to Alley. This is going to be called in the inside corner for a strike. And so the count goes to 0-2. No, correction. 1 ball. They called that a ball in the first pitch to Alley. So a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Popped up left side. Wind's really playing with every ball up in the air, and over into the third base dugout goes Lakin Schrader and unable to make the catch. It is a tough wind. The last out for Clay Center in the last inning was a pop out to the second baseman, and Kara Snavely really did a nice job. It looked like it was going short right center field. It ended up on the dirt. Here's the pitch to Alley up top. Wright Frederick takes it. And by the time it was done, Snavely was under it and then ended up basket catching it as she had to take another step or 2 in. It just kept coming in with that wind. There's a ground ball third base side. This is going to score a run. They will throw home, but Musselman in there safely. So Wright Frederick does her job. A ground out to third. The Lady Tigers have their first tally of the game and lead it 1-0 in the bottom of the third. A runner down to third base with 1 down. So a ground out RBI for Allie Wright Frederick brings up Megan Blake. Now Blake ended up popping out to the catcher in the first inning, but she must have fouled off 8 or 9 pitches and hammered a couple of them pretty hard. Just could not get one in fair territory. So she had some really good swings, just unable to get one in play. 1-0 count. First pitch was up and tight. Runner down the third is Shivers. There's another hard hit ball, but pulled foul, and it's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Shivers at third. Musselman singled and came around to score. Shivers, the infield single, stole second, now at third base. There's a pitch up and out. It's 2-1. So Blake up in the count, and we will get you back over to Tiger baseball. Kelby Wishman did fly out to lead off that inning. And now a pitch called. Blake thought that was well low and maybe tight. It was called for a strike. It's 2-2. So Kelby Wishman leading off for the Tigers in their half of the fourth with a 2-0 lead. Here's the 2-2 to Blake. And it's up and outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here, the Lady Tigers have the lead 1-0. A runner at third, Shivers. And the batter is Megan Blake with Haley Franson waiting on deck. A pitch home. Line drive right at Franson in the on-deck circle, and Jeep ducked out of the way. It went up against the third base dugout. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Blake has once again had a good at-bat going. Let's see if she can win the battle this time. She ended up with a pop-out back at the first after several foul balls. Here's the 3-2 again. This one's fly ball left field. This will likely drift foul. That started almost on the foul line and ended up left of the bullpen area here at the ballpark. So gives you an idea how that wind is just really messing with anything up in the air. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Also messing with the throws on the field, I think, for both teams. There's a swing and a miss, a strikeout, 2 down. So Megan Blake swings through an off-speed pitch. There's 2 away for Haley Franson. She reached on a bunt single her first time up. Runners at first and third, and she put one down with no play anywhere. Here's the pitch home. Outside, 1-0. Tiger baseball. Rosenau singled with 1 down. Dylan Moon has struck out, and then Waikiki grounded out. So the inning over, they're headed to the 5th at Smoky Valley. We'll get you back when they're set to work again. 2-0 into 4th. Tiger baseball leading after 4 completes. Here, 1-1. The count to Franson. There's a pop-up right side on the infield, and the second baseman, Snavely, has been busy. Another basket catch running toward the foul line. That ends the third. The Lady Tigers do get on the board. They lead it 1-0. We're headed to the 4th in Clay Center. We're also headed to the 5th at Smoky Valley. We'll be back with both here on KCLY.
Is your growing business outgrowing its internet? No matter what type of business you run, you need internet speeds that work as hard as you do. Twin Valley Pulse offers 100 megabits per second and gig internet plans to keep your business growing. Twin Valley local support and expertise are other benefits to guide your technology planning. Don't let your business fall behind your competitors with slow internet. Call Twin Valley at 800-515-3311 to get down to business. Service availability and internet speeds will depend on location. Call for complete details.
Well, from Clay Center to Lindsborg, Clay Center Lady Tigers up 1-0. Now high fly ball to Nate Leiby in right field from Abel for out number 1. So Clay Center in that last inning, Kelby Wishman flew out. Will Rosenau with a single, and then Jake Ferguson came in to pinch run, stole second. Moon struck out, and Wyke with a ground out. So Clay Center threatened again, but no score, and now 1 out. And a ground ball down the third base line is foul from Heitschmidt. Will Rosenau really done a good job on the mound for the Tigers. He's been in a jam about 3 times, but kept his cool and worked out of it every time. There's another ground ball to third. That will stay fair. Dylan Moon fires over to first and not in time. That was behind the bag and right on the line, and now they're going to call it. They're going to call that foul. Umpire pointing foul, and he is going to call that a foul ball. I can tell you that's a pretty good break for the Tigers. That was a really close play. The third base coach for Smoky Valley now in to talk to the home plate umpire, wants to try to get it overruled. I don't think he's going to. I am right on the third base line. And it was a really close call, so that will be a foul ball. So the count now goes to 0-2, and I can tell you, Smoky Valley's third base coach does not agree with that call. But the umpire right there and made it a little late, maybe, but he did make it. Ball swung on and fouled out of play, so count stays 0-2. There's 1 out. Top of 5, Clay Center up 2-0. Pitch in from Rosenau, ball 1. So count now at 1-2. Now batter steps out right, and Rosenau's wind up, and he's somehow able to stop it, and the umpire allows it. So they'll reset. Rosenau quickly back at it. 1-2, called strike 3. So Rosenau, I don't think, real happy with the batter, and as soon as he stepped back in, Rosenau was in his windup. Came home, and that is out number 2. So first baseman Welby will step in with 2 outs. Nobody on. Hard grounder to third base and takes a nasty hop on Moon, but he comes up with it. Play it first, and Rosenau can't handle it as that ball went in the dirt, and Wyatt Alexander on his horse to get down to first base and not allow that runner to second. So that took a nasty hop on Dylan Moon and caught him right in the chest. Coach Andy Bent out to check on him, now looking at his left shoulder. So Moon, of course, says he's fine. Moon nearly made a play anyway, but that throw down in the dirt to Rosenau and just couldn't handle it. But a nice job by Alexander to get over there on the backup. Now pitch in to Forsberg, the left fielder, low, ball 1. 2 down. Smoky Valley has another runner on. Pitch to Forsberg. That's driven to shortstop. Cade Wallace will take it to first, and that is out. Number 3. Midway through 5, Clay Center still up 2-0. Let's check in with Rocky Downey.
Yeah, flip 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning. Clay Center Lady Tigers leading at 1-0. Megan Blake has got a couple of nice plays behind her as she works with a 1-ball, 1-strike count on the batter, Elena Hansen. And there's a pitch up and out. It's 2-1. First ground ball pulled Taylor Mall toward the middle of the field at first base, and Aaron Hamill covering. And then a line drive that Hamill took about 3 steps to her left and was able to snag, and then it kind of bobbled, and she smothered it against herself and was able to keep the out. So 2 down, 2-1 the count. Foul ball off the right side from Hansen for Concordia. Lady Tigers scoring in the bottom of 3 to go up 1-0. The only run scored thus far. Concordia has been silent since threatening in the first inning. Blake now with 7 strikeouts in the game. That's 63 on the year. And trying to get one here to end the inning after 2 nice defensive plays behind her. The 2-2 on its way is up high. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Interesting, first 2 innings, Megan Blake went 3-0 against the leadoff hitters. She allowed a single to Tegan Larson in the first. She got a strikeout against Allison Poore in the second, and then she's really not fallen behind a lot. Here's the 3-2. Strike 3 call. That's strikeout number 8 for Blake. And we're headed to the 5th with the Lady Tigers leading here 1-0. Let's take you back again to Phil Casper.
All right, thanks, Rock. We're back at the top of the order in the bottom of the 5th here. Clay Center up 2-0. Good performance there from Megan Blake, and a good one here from Will Rosenau with 7 strikeouts on the day as Libby fouls one back out of play for strike 1, and the count goes 1-1. Rosenau's really thrown well for the Tigers, and just a freshman. Nate Libby, 1-1. Up and in, ball 2. Libby rips one foul down the third baseline, and strike 2. And the count's 2-2. Pitch into Libby, curveball, and a frozen 8, and that is strike 3. Boy, that's a pretty good pitch from Weldy. So that brings up Dylan Swihart. He's walked and then grounded into a double play in the second, batting in the DH. Watches the first one go by, strike 1. 0-1 pitch in, curveball, misses high. Counts 1-1. One pitch in, Swihart watches it go by, strike 2. 1 out, nobody on, 1-2 count now to Dylan Swihart. Bottom of 5, Clay Center up 2-0. Pitch to Swihart, that's swung on, hits the shortstop on the ground, up, throw to first, misses high, and Swihart's in safely. So an error on the shortstop puts Swihart on first base. And that'll bring up Brigham Glaves. Glaves is singled and grounded out. Lefty stands in, ready to go. Pitch to Glaves. Ball 1. Glaves back in, ready to go. Swihart, pretty good lead. They are holding him, and now he goes to second. The ball gets by the catcher, and Swihart safely into second base. The count now to Brigham Glaves, 2-0. Swihart, a really good jump. Catcher out talking to the pitcher now. I think the pitcher really probably sensed he had a pretty good lead, and got him out of his zone and threw one in the dirt, so Swihart safely into second. He was thrown out the first time he tried that. And gets a pretty good lead off second. He is being held by the shortstop. Pitch to Glaze outside. And that's 3-0. The bottom of 5, Clay Center trying to get a little more of a cushion, hanging on to that 2-0 lead. Pitch into Glaze. That is a called strike 1. And the count now 3-1. 3-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Count goes full. Swihart to hold at second. Now a 3-2 count to Brigham Glaze. Swihart with the lead. Pitch to Glaze. That's driven into center field. Center fielder up, slips, loses the ball, drops it. So everybody's safe, and Dylan Swihart will hold at third. And the center fielder started up, and that ball up in that wind reversed his field a little bit and slipped as he did. Still nearly made a pretty good catch, but Swihart gets around to third, and Glaze stands safely on first after that error. Now comes out for Smoky Valley, and we may have a pitching change. Keep it right here for now, and looks like we may have a pitching change. So while we have a chance, let's check in with Rocky Downing and the Lady Tigers.
You bet, Flip. The Lady Tigers did get a leadoff single from Taylor Mall in that last frame. Lexi Livey came in to pinch run and eventually would be stranded at third base. They got a good sacrifice down from Gabby Delms. 2 hard-hit balls from Hannah Ferguson and Erin Hamill, but both at the shortstop, Hadley Tifo. And so those 2 groundouts would end up ending the inning. The Lady Tigers strand that runner at third and now head into the 5th here. Top of 5. They lead it 1-0. So Concordia, of course, the Lady Tigers run ruled last Monday in both those games doubleheader on senior night. Struggling to get the offense going. Carly Martin has been sharp on the mound, and they're inside the circle, and they've gotten some really good performance from the defense behind her. The Lady Tigers have done the same, though, defensively. Concordia threatened back in the first and stranded 2. Since that time, it has been a perfect 3 up, 3 down in the second, third, and fourth innings for Megan Blake and this defense. The Lady Tigers up 1-0. We're headed to the 5th. We'll send it back over and see if they took that pitching change at Smoky Valley.
Well, they did not, and now Clay Center, again, really some base running errors, and I'll explain it in a minute as Coach Andy Bent in, as they called Dylan Swihart out way early trying to steal home, and I'm not sure what the issue was, other than he ran way outside of the catcher. But Coach Andy Bent trying to make his point. But what Clay Center did, they tried to double steal, and Smoky Valley with a good job of holding that runner between first and second, and then Swihart probably taking off a step too early and trying to get out and around Smoky Valley's catcher, but called out. So that is out number 2. Now Glaze does advance to second. Swihart, they are going to call out, and it's probably the right call, is Swihart well behind and out of the baseline. So, but Coach Bent will try to get that point across. There's still a runner on second. There is 2 down, and that's going to bring up Wyatt Alexander. Wyatt is 0 for 2 today and looking for a hit. Now fouls one back. Alexander just a little bit back on his heels much of the day. He's struck out and flown out. And there's a rip down the third base line. Good play by the third baseman over to first, and a great play by Smoky Valley's third baseman to get Alexander out for the third out of that inning. Headed to 6, Clay Center up 2-0. Let's check in with Lady Tiger softball.
Well, the ninth strikeout for Megan Blake in this game. Look at a third strike from Allison Poore brings up Kelsey Kern. So one down, nobody aboard. Top half of the fifth, the Lady Tigers with the lead of 1-0. The batter is Kelsey Kern. Blake set to work. Pitch on its way home. Alley right, Frederick, her catcher, and it's across for a strike. Anna Ferguson at third. Haley Franson, the shortstop. Aaron Hamill at second. Taylor Mall is the first baseman. A 1-0 Lady Tiger lead here in the top of 5. The 0-1 pitch from Megan Blake is going to be up and out, and it's 1-1. The outfield for Clay Center, Michaela Musselman plays in left, Janae Shivers in center field, and in right field is Gabby Nelms. As Blake again looks in with a 1-ball, 1-strike count, and 1 down, nobody aboard in this fifth inning. There's a foul ball right side, barely making contact with Kern, and it's 1-2. Wind, as mentioned, gusting in from center field, maybe a little bit from right to left in the direction it's blowing. Really become almost completely overcast now. Games, of course, moved up due to the potential severe weather in really much of the state of Kansas. Something we'll certainly keep an eye on. Nothing in the area at this time. Here's the pitch from Blake. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 swing, and it's 2 Ks in the inning. And the Lady Tigers have 2 down with nobody aboard. We'll get this last batter here, Rochelle Anderson, see if the Lady Tigers can go 3 up, 3 down defensively once again. 10 strikeouts now in the game for Megan Blake. 2 down, nobody on, and the pitch home. Fouled left side deep, but well foul. And again, that ball was in foul territory to begin, but by the time it landed, it was left of the left field bullpen. As that wind just carries everything in that direction. 0-1 the count. Lady Tigers scored their lone run in the third. They have threatened a couple of times with stranded runners. Concordia has had 2 runners on. That was back in the first. No one has reached since, and now an 0-2 count on Rochelle Anderson. Megan Blake has struck out the side in the second inning. Trying to do it here in the fifth with an 0-2 count and 2 down. And the pitch home. In for a strike, strike 3. That's the 11th K of the game and the third in this inning. So another 3 up, 3 down performance defensively. We're headed to the bottom of 5 here. We're also headed back over to Bethany College where the baseball Tigers are up 2-0.
All right, thanks, Rock. Base hit to start out the 6th inning from Smoky Valley. Puts a base runner on, and Smoky Valley has had runners on in every inning. Clay Center able to work out of trouble much of this game, and now 1-0 pitch from Will Rosenau. Smoky Valley stranded 3 in the first, and they've had runners on base every inning since, and count's gone 2-0. So now a runner on first, nobody out, top of 6, Clay Center up 2-0. Pitch in from Rosenau, called strike 1. Pitch, foul back, count will go 2-2. Runner going to second, he'll head back to first. Pitch from Rosenau, ground ball, high hopper to third base, only plays at first, over from Dylan Moon and out. A nice play by Moon. The first out of the inning is a high hopper, and Dylan Moon charging could only go to first. The runner does advance to second with 1 out. Pitch in, swung on and missed, strike 1. A 1 pitch misses high. 1-1. Runner on second. 2-0 in the top of the sixth. Pitch in, strike two. Will Rosenau's really done a good job this game. In trouble at times, but just doesn't get shook up. Knows when to hold the runner, knows when to worry about the batter. 1-2 count now. Pitch from Rosenau, high. Counts 2-2, one out, one runner on. Pitch in from Rosenau, low and out. Count goes full. Pitch from Rosenau on the way, so swung on and missed, and that is out, number 2. That is Will Rosenau's 8th strikeout of this game. So now 2 down, back to the top of the order. Pitch from Rosenau, that's fouled. Out of play down the right side. Runner on second, being held on by the middle infield. Now chasing a curveball. That's strike 2. So Rosenau now up 0-2 in the count with 2 down. Top of 6. Smoky Valley is threatened again. Pitch from Rosenau, foul back. Count remains 0-2. Rosenau looks back to second. Now he'll fire home. Curveball is going to hit the batter. I'll say no. The batter from Smoky Valley thought he was hit. Third baseman coach is in, and the umpire, I can see signaling he ducked into it. So they'll argue this for a while, but that is going to end the top half of the 6th. Clay Center still leads 2-0. Let's check in with the Clay Center Lady Tigers.
Well, Allie Wright Frederick just sent one to deep left field, but that wind really holding things up here. Now there's 2 down with the runner at first. Clay Center had a good start to this inning, and Michaela Musselman walks, so she's reached both times up to the plate. Janae Shivers then singled into center field, but they threw behind Musselman, who just barely leaned off the bag, but it's enough for the base running error to cause this first out of the inning, and now Wright Frederick's flyout is a second. Now Blake cranks on one, but this is going to drift foul and into the bullpen there in left field. Shivers around second on her way to third will have to retreat to first on the foul ball. So Janae Shivers has reached all 3 times. She was hit by a pitch, an infield single, and the single up the middle this time. She stands at first base, but there is now 2 down in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the Lady Tigers trying to get some insurance as we're into the late frames, and Concordia really hanging around. Carly Martin's pitch home, again, fly ball, left field, and will drift foul. And Blake will re-cue it. She could straighten one out. She has hit the ball hard several times today, but most have been in that left field foul area or straight back. The 0-2. Back up the box. This one's through for a single. Shivers at second will hold on there as the center fielder Larson in quickly to retrieve it in short center field, but that ball was roped right back up the middle for Megan Blake in a single. We have runners at first and second for Haley Franson, now with 2 away. And the courtesy runner goes over at first base for the Lady Tigers. That's Jaden Crimmins who will run. Megan Blake can go in and get ready to pitch in the next frame. Crimmins will run at first. Shivers over at second. And Haley Franson will be the batter here with 2 down. The Lady Tigers leading 1-0. We'll get you back over to Flip at Smoky Valley. Tiger baseball up 2-0. Playing in the late innings there as well. There's a strike on the outside corner to Franson. Haley thought that was off the plate, but called for a strike. It's been a liberal strike zone in this game, but I think it's been that way for both sides. Here's the 0-1 to Franson. This one well outside. They think the throw to first. Crimmins diving back in. Shivers at second. Crimmins courtesy running for Megan Blake, who singled. Shivers also a single. There's 2 down. Bottom of 5. Clay Center up 1-0. Pitch down low in the dirt. The ball gets away. Shivers to third. They will throw to second. And Crimmins is out at second base as Snavely was able to hang on to the throw. And the Lady Tigers have struggled on the base paths today, and it's cost them in a couple of innings already, the first and now here in the 5th. And they still lead it 1-0. We're headed to the 6th and a tight one here in the semifinals. Let's take you back over again to Flip Casper.
All right, thanks, Rock. Here, Kelby Wishman now up at bat. There's a fly ball out of play. Evan Rosenau led the inning off, a ground out to the shortstop for out number 1, and now Wishman stands in behind on the count, 1-2. Pitch into Wishman in the dirt. That last out for Smoky Valley. Batter was hit by the pitch, but the home plate umpire said he leaned way into it, so 2-2 pitch in the dirt to Wishman. Now count goes full. So they did call that batter out. Full count pitch, curveball hit in between short and third to left field, and that's a base hit for Kelby Wishman. So bottom of the 6th, Clay Center holding onto that 2-0 lead, trying to add some insurance runs. And Will Rosenau will step in for the Tigers. Will with a base hit his last time up. Jake Ferguson into pinch run. Pitch from Rosenau hit to shortstop. They will not have a play at second. Throw to first, and they are going to get Rosenau out. Wishman will advance to second. And that's out number 2. So with 2 down, Boone steps in for the Tigers. Pitch in, called strike 1. Curveball, watches it go by, strike 2. Play center Lady Tigers softball. Musselman walked to lead off. Shivers single. Musselman was picked off of second. 1 out. Alley right Frederick at bat. Pitch into Moon. Ball 1. Count goes 1-2. Gets you to Rocky Downing right after this inning. One-two pitch. Curveball. Misses. Ball 2. 2-2, runner on second, 2 down, bottom of 6, Clay Center up 2-0. Pitch in, called strike 3. So 6 complete, headed to the 7th. Clay Center 3 outs away from heading to the championship against Rock Creek. They lead 2-0. Let's send you over to Clay Center Lady Tigers softball.
All right, Flip, appreciate it. As you mentioned, the Lady Tigers threatened there in the bottom of 5 and then ended up with a couple of base-running blunders, and it really did cost them an opportunity to add to a 1-0 lead. Megan Blake, though, back in the circle, has got another strikeout recorded, and 2 quickly down here in the 5th as the batter is Lakin Schrader. Correction. Natalie Vines, the number 2 hitter in the lineup. Tegan Larson just grounded out to the second baseman after Cora Snavely had struck out. The 12th strikeout of the game for Megan Blake. She has an 0-1 count now on Vines, and there is strike 2 called. It's 0-2. So a pitcher's duel, to say the least. The defense on both sides has been solid. The pitching, of course, of Blake with 12 Ks in the game, accounting for a lot of the outs in this now 5 2/3 we've played. The 0-2 pitch, this one up high, and the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. But Carly Martin has pitched well, and her defense has really made some really nice plays behind her in this ball game. 1-0 here. Lady Tigers lead it. We are in the top of the 6th inning as Blake comes home, and a swing and a miss. Another strikeout, 13 in the game, and the Lady Tigers are headed to the bottom of 6. Still a 1-0 lead here in Clay Center. Tiger softball trying to hang on. Tiger baseball with the lead as well. Late innings. Let's take you back over again to Phil Casper.
All right, thanks, Rock. Top of 7 here. Will Rosenau in with his first pitch facing left field. Strike 1. So Will Rosenau has gone the distance. Nine strikeouts now for Rosenau. Misses ball 1. He has pitched well for Clay Center and really worked hard. Smoky Valley has stranded base runners every inning as Rosenau throws strike 2. Batter watches it go by, and Rosenau has been able to work out of it every time. 1-2 pitch in the dirt, ball 2. There's a 2-2 pitch, swung on, grounded to shortstop. Kate Wallace comes up with it, throws to first, and that's going to be beat out. And yes, they will say beat out. I thought that umpire punched him out for a minute. Wallace bobbled that just briefly, and a good job by Lustfield to beat that out. So, again, Smoky Valley with the tying runner at the plate and nobody out. Runner on first. Rosenau again has base runners that he needs to worry about. There's ball swung on, throw down to first, gets away from the first baseman. That's going to advance the runner as Rosenau can't handle the throw from Wyatt Alexander, and I'm not sure he was ready for it. If Rosenau comes up with that throw from Wyatt, they may have had him. But instead, the runner heads down to second. Pitch home. There's a fly ball right side of the field. That's going to be out of play. And the count's 0-2. Nobody out. Runner on second. 0-2 count outside. Runner holds at second. Counts 1-2. Rosenau looks the runner back on. Now he'll come home. 1-2 high. So count is 2-2. Rosenau fires home. There's a drive into right field, and Nate Libby over to make the play, and they're going to hold the runner at second. So a well-hit ball, but Libby, right place, right time. And there's one out, and now Will Rosenau may have reached the pitch count, and Colton Weike is going to come in. So we'll have a pitching change here at Lindsburg. Let's check in with Rocky Downing.
You've had some good things to check in with here as the Lady Tigers have leadoff batters aboard. Singles coming from Haley Franson and Taylor Mall for both their second hits of the game, and runners at first and second for Gabby Nelms and nobody down. The Lady Tigers trying to add some insurance here in the bottom of 6. They lead it 1-0. Pitching change over in the Tiger baseball matchup. There's a ground ball up the middle. There's another base hit. Nelms through. And around third will come Franson to score, and the Lady Tigers now a 2-0 lead. And finally, the bats warm up a bit. It has been a struggle offensively for Clay Center, but 3 straight singles and the Lady Tigers certainly have something working now. Nelms with the third single of the inning. Franson around to score it. Runners now at first and second. Mall to second base. Nelms at first, and Hannah Ferguson is the batter. Carly Martin looks in and brings it, and it's outside off speed, and the count is 1-0. So Clay Center now a 2-0 lead, as Tiger Baseball has the same 2-0 lead over at Bethany College. Smoky Valley hosting that regional. Here's the pitch from Martin. Ground ball toward the middle. This one's going to get through as well, and the Lady Tigers have the bases full as Mall holds on at third. Down to second base will go Nelms, and now at first base with the fourth back-to-back singles for the Lady Tigers as Hannah Ferguson and Erin Hamill steps in. In a pitching change going on in the Tiger Baseball matchup. I'm going to get you over there after this at-bat, see if we can get another run across first as the Tiger Baseball team trying to wrap up their matchup against Smoky Valley. 1-0 pitch. Hamill flies one deep left field. This may burn the left fielder. It may be up against the wall, and it is. That's a fair ball. 2 runs in, a third one rounding. Hamill on her way to third base. She will slide in and is all 3 umpires looking for a call, and the home plate umpire punches Hamill out at third base. But what a shot from Erin Hamill, deep left field, the base of the wall against that wind, and she knocks in 3, and the Lady Tigers now lead at 5-0 here in the bottom of the 6th with Michaela Musselman coming up, who is 1 for 1 on the day and has reached both times. Bill, let's get you back over and see if we can close it out there at Smoky Valley.
All right, thanks, Rock. And again, pitch count for Evan Rosenau. He threw really well today, and now Colton Wyke has come in and thrown 3 straight balls. Wyke maybe a little more speed than Rosenau. 3-0 pitch, low, and he's going to walk the first batter he faces. So now top of 7. And 2 runners on with 1 out. Clay Center has nursed that 2-0 lead and dodged bullets every inning. And now Wyke, curveball, misses high, ball 1. 1-0 pitch in for a called strike, and Wyke just a minute to find it, but he may be there. He'll go quickly back at it, fires in, strike 2. Facing Weldy, he's singled twice, struck out once. Pitch in, there's a hard drive into left field. Glaves back, jumping, makes the play, and both runners going, so they're going to have to go back. The runner at first base has rounded second, and they double him up. And Clay Center is going to win it as Brigham Glaves with a jumping catch out in left field, and the runner at first had rounded second. And Glaves with a presence of mind into shortstop Cade Wallace, who fires over to first base, and they double him up, and Clay Center wins it. They advance to the championship and will take on Rock Creek in about 30 minutes. Clay Center wins it 2-0. They'll play Rock Creek for the championship. Let's get you back for the finish of the Clay Center Lady Tigers.
All right, Flip, good work there. And what a finish for Tiger Baseball to move on. They'll face Rock Creek, as Flip mentioned, and we'll get you more details on the time break they will take in that ball game. Here we're in the bottom of 6. Clay Center's opened this thing up with 4 runs coming across. Franson scored after 3 straight singles to open up. Allie Wright Frederick in there now. The pitch gets by the catcher, finds, and down to second base goes Janae Shivers. First, to recap this half inning thus far, Franson, Mall, Nelms, Ferguson all singled to begin the frame, and then Erin Hamill with the bases full knocked one almost out in the deep left field to hit the base of the wall for a double. Then she was thrown out at third, trying to stretch it into a triple. With a unique finish to that play, all 3 umpires kind of looked at each other, and nobody made a move. I mean, it was like a standoff. And then eventually the home plate umpire punched her out. Here's a ground ball to third, and that's going to end the inning. Allie Wright Frederick. I want to get back to Janae Shivers' single as the inning does close, Janae popped one towards center field, and it ended up being that wind blowing it back in on the infield dirt. But the center fielder, Larson, came on in to try to make the play. It called everybody off and just couldn't quite gather it in. But she is stranded at first base is Shivers. But the Lady Tigers score 4 in the inning. They lead it 5-0. We're headed to the 7th. Place of the Lady Tigers trying to join Tiger Baseball in a regional championship game. We'll have your finish coming up after this.
Stocking the shelves with the products customers need and want is a constant goal at Ray's Apple Market. Some of the newest items are the organic and gluten-free items, which now number well over 400 different products at Ray's Apple Market.
Here at Ray's, it is our passion to give you, our customer, a pleasant, time-saving shopping experience while providing exceptional products at value prices with uncommon customer service. Thank you from our family to yours. Shop small, shop local.
So headed to the 7th inning with the Lady Tigers up 5-0. This game has been really in doubt, and although there's still 3 outs to get, with a little cushion now going into the final inning, the Lady Tigers with that 5-0 lead. Phil, if you're still with us there, I know you're at a break. You may have taken off, that's fine, but can you give us, do you have any idea what they're looking at as far as a time frame?
Well, they're going to go pretty quick, Rocky. There's both teams on the field. They were talking 30 minutes. I'm not sure they're going to wait that long.
Yeah, I kind of had the same feeling, and I know the administration here said they were going to move it as quickly as both teams and umpires were ready to go, so I think it's a smart call.
Yeah. They're going to move. I think what I'm going to do is I'll put the headset down, and I'll stay in contact with you, and I'll see what I can find out.
Very good. We appreciate it. Good win for the Tigers, 2-0. They advance to play Rock Creek for a trip to Emporia in the state championship. That game coming up a little bit later on here. The Clay Center Lady Tigers now lead at 5-0, and it'll be the top of the 7th. With Hadley Tifo, the shortstop, lead it off. Elena Hansen and Allison Poor. Megan Blake in the circle brings it home, and there's a pitch up and away. It's 1-0. Blake with 13 strikeouts in this ball game. 13 Ks at 71 now on the season. And a 5-0 lead to work with here with a 1-0 count on Tifo. Pitch just down low. It's 2-0. Lady Tigers, if they can hold on here, would face Chapman for the championship and a trip to Emporia. That game also coming up here on KCLY along with flip over at Smoky Valley. Here's the 2-0 pitch for Blake. Swing and a miss. Good cut by Tifo, but comes up empty, and it's 2-1. Tifo has walked back in the first as Concordia's only 2 base runners came in the top of the first. They had runners at first and second. The only hit of the game, also in that frame, Tegan Larson. It's been perfect since. There's a check swing that ends up going around, and the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. 13 strikeouts, as mentioned, after 2 runners got aboard. The Lady Tigers have been perfect on the defensive side. There's a pop fly right field. It's going to drift. Diving efforts by Gabby Nelms almost got to it, but it ends up in foul territory, and it count stays at 2-2. Nelms, a long run to her left, got outside the chalk line there, and I should say right field, a long way to her left in right field, and took a headfirst dive for it and just came up short. Great effort. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Top of 7, nobody on and none out with Blake rocking and bringing it home. Pitch up high, it goes 3-2 now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lady Tigers led 1-0 after 3. They didn't score until the 3rd, and then tacked on 4 runs here in the bottom of 6. Top foul up and back over the press box here, and the count stays 3 balls, 2 strikes. Leadoff hitter Hadley Tifo for Concordia, who have really played well in this game. You know, they were run ruled by Clay Center a week ago Monday, and they have really showed up and competed today. But the Lady Tigers finally getting some insurance runs. Line drive up the middle. This is going to be a single from Tifo, knocked down by Shivers. Tifo with a single at first. And that is the first base runner since the first inning. Lakin Schrader will be the batter. She has struck out swinging and lined out a good play to Aaron Hamill at second base. She is followed by Elena Hansen. Schrader, right-handed batter. Megan Blake looks into her catcher, Allie Wright-Frederick, and here's the first offering in, and it's going to be up and maybe a touch outside 1-0. Tifo, the runner at first. Shivers shaded a bit toward the left field side of center field, not by much, but with that wind kind of blowing in that direction. Here's the pitch from Blake, 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1 ball, 1 strike. Wright-Frederick looks down at first, Tifo not going anywhere. Chapman winning 8-2 in their matchup over Smoky Valley earlier to reach the finals. Rock Creek won 11-4 over Chapman in baseball. That's who the Tigers will face here in a bit. There's a pitch up and away. They throw behind the runner. Good scoop by Taylor Mall. And Tifo back in safely. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Schrader, the batter. On deck is Hansen. There's a runner aboard, Tifo, who's singled first base runner since the first for Concordia. It's been the perfect second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth inning for Megan Blake in this Tiger defense. Get a couple of nice plays. Taylor Mall at first, Aaron Hamill at second. Janae Shivers made a great catch over her shoulder in center field. And then just solid outside of that. And then the 13 strikeouts from Megan Blake obviously will help your defense. Here's the 1-2 again. Off speed, grounded toward third. Ferguson with it, throws to second for the lead runner. They'll have that one. Hamill a good turn, but the runner is safe at first. There's 1 down. So they erase the leadoff batter, and Schrader trades places with her on the fielder's choice, third to second, and that brings up Elena Hansen. 1 down. Lady Tigers 2 outs away from moving to the regional championship game. Tiger baseball winning 2-0. Lady Tigers up here 5-0. Top of the 7th, 1 down, 1 runner aboard. Elena Hansen, the batter. The count is 1-0. Blake, the delivery. Thing just kind of hung on the inside corner. I thought they called it inside. Throw behind the runner again, and just getting back in safely was Schrader. Good throw down there at first by the sniper, Allie Wright-Frederick. Hansen stands back in. The count goes to 2-0, so Blake falling behind the batter with 1 down. There's one right down the pipe, 2-1. We'll be checking in, of course, as mentioned with Flip, and when Tiger baseball is set to go in that championship game to try to get back-to-back years to state qualify. They take on undefeated Rock Creek. We'll let you know on that one. Here's the 2-1. Fouled right side up against the netting just in front of the stands, and the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 down, 1 runner aboard. Lady Tigers 2 outs away from reaching the regional championship here. Face Chapman. Hansen, the batter, the number 5 hitter in the order. She has grounded out to first and struck out looking. Here's the 2-2. Little number toward the right side. Hamill has it, flips to first, 2 down. Runner does get to second base, Schrader. But again, there is 2 away on a very soft roller that kind of was spinning away from Aaron, and Hamill made a good job to gather it first, then make the good toss to Taylor Mall at first base, and there's 2 down. And that brings up Allison Poore, who has watched the third strike twice in the ballgame. Megan Blake steps back up. 13 strikeouts in the ballgame. 2 down here with 1 runner at second and a 5-0 lead. First pitch just inside, 1-0. In Tiger baseball coming up, when we have the time on that, better idea, we'll pass that along to you. Lady Tigers hoping to get this final out, and then they can find out when they will queue up the regional championship game as well. Here's the 1-0 from Blake. And stays inside, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 down. Top half of the 7th, with the Lady Tigers up here 5-0. And the block and the pitch from Blake. Ground ball right side. Taylor Mall has it. She will flip it now to Aaron Hamill, who's covering it first, and that's the ball game. The Lady Tigers get it done. 5-0 is your final and Clay Center will play for that regional title coming up here in just a little while. We'll get an update on kind of timing for both locations. Stay with us. Tiger baseball and softball continues on 100.9.
Simple Office is focused on helping you protect your computers and valuable data. Lightning and power outages can damage your computer or electronic equipment, and the best protection is a combination surge protector and battery backup for as little as $79. Help stop malware infections with ESET security software and backup data frequently to external storage devices such as thumb drives or hard drives. We can assist you in choosing the right products, all in stock at Central Office Service and Supply, where service is still our middle name.
Hello, Patterson's Apothecary. How can I help you? Yes, we are open, even with all the construction. Yes, the road closed sign to our west will be there for a long time because of the hospital expansion. But you can get to us from the east on Liberty Street or from the north on Lafayette Street. We're here from 10 to 5:30 Monday through Friday, except for lunch from 12:30 to 1:30. And you can still drive through or walk into Patterson's Apothecary for your prescriptions. Okay, thanks for calling.
This is Ryan Gearhand from Wilbur Ellis Reed Seed and Feed with your agronomy report. As you look out over your wheat fields, they may look great now, but don't think you are guaranteed a bumper crop when the current conditions are so favorable for rust. Let Wilbur Ellis Reed Seed and Feed help protect your wheat with a timely application of wheat fungicide. Take another look at your wheat fields. There's no reason to jeopardize your yield potential when the fungicide will more than pay for itself with an increased yield. Come see us at Wilbur Ellis Reed Seed and Feed.
The gang here at Bud's Tire Service want to wish the best of luck to the Tiger baseball and softball teams in postseason play. They, like us, strive to be the best they can be. We can help with everything from tires to your driveline to your engine to help keep it performing great. We have many tire brands that have rebates going on right now. Stop in and check them out. AC not keeping you cool? We can fix that also. Make sure and give our Facebook page a like. Never know what might be going on there. Stop by Bud's Tire for all your vehicle needs. Again, good luck to the Tiger baseball and softball teams.
Back again with Tiger baseball and softball. We do know here at the Tiger softball, the Lady Tigers get set to face Chapman. As soon as both teams are ready, the field is ready, and the umpiring crew is ready, they'll do some rechalking and working in those areas of the field. As soon as they have the field prepped and ready to go, they are going to get the championship started here. Smoky Valley waiting to hear word from Flip Casper. There is a severe thunderstorm watch in the area. There has been some pretty heavy thunderstorm activity up in northwest Republic County, but it has really moved basically into Nebraska. So we're going to keep you posted on anything that will affect the KCLY community. There's also some storms west of the Lindsborg area, but right now it appears to be moving in a north direction more than northeast direction, but certainly something I'm sure they're keeping an eye on there as well. And when we have word from Phil Casper on what's going to happen on the start time, we'll pass that information here. Lady Tigers, they'll get going as soon as they can get the field prepped and both teams ready to go as they get set to face the Chapman Irish. Tiger baseball will face Rock Creek. Baseball winning 2-0. The Tigers with the victory. Great performance from Will Rosenau. Pitched into the seventh before his pitch count just wouldn't allow him to continue. And he had 9 strikeouts in the game before coming out, and the Tigers hold on for a 2-0 win. And then Megan Blake here with 13 strikeouts for the Lady Tigers, and they win it 5-0. It was a 1-0 ball game until the 6th when they finally pulled away. And again, a 5-0 final in that one. Take you back for another break. We'll return, get you updated, and keep you posted on what's happening with Tiger baseball and softball here on 100.9.
Whether you farm 100 acres or 10,000, the people of Central Valley Ag Monroe are here to serve you. Like customer service specialist Brett Schicker.
Support bigger growers and smaller growers at the same time.
Every input when you need it. And people like cropping specialist Jason Cook.
We have that personal touch with the farmer. They know that we have their best interest at heart.
Manager Doug Eisenmenger says their most important product is teamwork.
It's not what I can do, it's what we can do together.
Central Valley Ag Monroe. Proud to say we are CVA.
You're a farmer. You're good at making things grow. Good news is, so are we. United Bank and Trust has the financial stability to help keep you afloat throughout all farming seasons. You see, just like the family farm, we've been around for generations, and we're built on a foundation of agriculture. Turn to the seasoned professionals that you can trust your farm with. At United Bank and Trust, they'll make sure you're able to operate at full capacity. United Bank and Trust, banking for your way of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
As a family-owned independent business, our agronomists at CS Precision Ag understand what it takes to make your operation successful. From Veris soil mapping and variable rate prescriptions to pre-season crop planning and weekly crop scouting reports, our agronomists tailor-fit each package to fit your particular farm. We are accepting new customers for 2017 throughout north central Kansas and south central Nebraska. Contact us today at 785-630-0596 or visit us online at csprecisionag.com.
Drivers. TSI Kansas and Clay Center is seeking professional, over-the-road drivers to join our team. That's right, team. At TSI Kansas, our drivers and employees are all part of one team. We value our drivers, mechanics, and staff. We all have a common goal, and that goal is to provide our drivers with quality pay and home time they deserve. The new owners at TSI Kansas are dedicated to their employees and know that they are their greatest assets. To join our team, call 785-632-5183.